Ever wondered how much it costs to live in the land of baguettes, berets and Beaujolais? Delightful, isn't it? Picture it, waking up to the delicious aroma of freshly baked croissants, sipping on world-class wines and soaking in the rich history and culture that is France. But how much does it really cost to live this French dream? In this video, we'll explore the true cost of living in France. We'll delve into the nitty-gritty of everyday expenses, from the price of a pain au chocolat at a local boulangerie to the rent for a cozy apartment in the heart of Paris. We'll also talk about transportation costs, whether you're cycling around the city or catching a train to the countryside, and let's not forget leisure activities. After all, what's a life in France without a visit to the Louvre or a stroll along the French Riviera? So, if you're considering packing your bags for France, this video is your one-stop guide to understanding the cost of living. First on the list is food and dining, because who doesn't love French cuisine? Now, if you're planning on cooking at home, the cost of groceries can vary depending on where you are in France. Cities like Paris are a bit pricier, while in smaller towns, you'll find your euros stretch a lot further. When it comes to dining out, you've got a whole gamut of options. From a quick bite at a boulangerie for less than a tenner, to a luxurious 3-course meal at a Michelin-starred restaurant that could set you back a couple of €100. A typical French meal, let's say a baguette sandwich for lunch or a plat du jour at a brasserie for dinner, will generally cost you between 10 and €20. But remember, this is France. The food is an experience, not just a meal. So whether you're a fan of escargot or a simple croissant, you'll find something to suit your palate and your pocket. Next up is accommodation. After all, you'll need a place to rest after all that dining. So let's talk about your options. If you fancy the city life, renting an apartment in Paris can be quite steep, running from around €1,000 to €3,000 a month for a one-bedroom place. But if you're willing to venture out a little, cities like Lyon or Nice offer a more budget-friendly range, from €700 to €1,500. And for those who prefer the quiet charm of rural France, you can expect to pay even less, around €500 to €1,000 a month. Don't forget to factor in utilities, which can add an extra €100 to €200 to your monthly bills. Remember, location is everything, but with a bit of savvy searching, you can find a perfect place that won't break the bank. Now that we've covered where you'll live and eat, let's talk about how you'll get around. In France, public transportation is quite the charmer, and it's also easy on the pockets. A bus or metro ticket in Paris will cost you less than €2. And for those monthly commuters, a Navigo pass allows unlimited travel in the Paris region for about €70 a month. If trains are more your speed, you're in luck. The TGV, France's high-speed train, is a bit pricier, but offers a swift and scenic journey across the country. A one-way ticket from Paris to Nice can range from €70 to €150, depending on when you book. And for those thinking about owning a car, remember, it's not just about buying the vehicle. There's the cost of insurance, petrol, and regular maintenance. Plus, in many cities, parking can be a costly nightmare. Whether you prefer a leisurely bike ride or zipping around on the metro, France has a transportation option to fit your budget. Of course, life in France isn't just about eating, sleeping, and commuting. Let's talk leisure activities. Immersing yourself in the rich culture and history is an integral part of the French experience. Museums, for instance, are a fantastic way to do just that. Entry fees can vary depending on the museum. Some, like the Louvre, might set you back around €15, while others offer free admission on certain days. A trip to the cinema is another popular pastime. Expect to pay about €10 for a standard ticket. Keep in mind, though, that there are often discounts for students and seniors. And let's not forget about other recreational pursuits like wine tasting tours in Bordeaux or exploring the lavender fields in Provence. These can cost anywhere from €20 to €100, depending on the experience you choose. From the Louvre to a local cinema, there's always something to do in France to match your budget. So, we've taken a whirlwind tour of the cost of living in France. Let's jog our memories and recap the main points, shall we? We kicked off our journey exploring the culinary landscape of France. We found that eating in France doesn't have to be an extravagant affair. From the bustling street markets offering fresh produce to the cozy bistros serving delightful meals, there's something for every budget. Of course, if you fancy a bit of indulgence, there are plenty of Michelin-starred restaurants to choose from. Next, we delved into the world of accommodation. We learned that the cost can vary significantly depending on the location and the type of housing. If you're leaning towards city living, Paris is on the higher end of the spectrum, while cities like Lyon and Marseille offer more affordable options. For those who prefer the countryside, the cost of housing drops considerably. Then we hopped onto the topic of transportation. We discovered that France boasts an efficient and extensive public transportation system. The cost of commuting is quite reasonable, especially when you consider the convenience and coverage. And let's not forget the option of cycling, a popular and cost-effective mode of transportation in many French cities. Our journey wouldn't be complete without touching on leisure activities. From soaking up art and history in the world-renowned museums to sipping on a glass of wine at a local bar, there's a wide range of activities to suit different budgets. And remember, many museums offer reduced or free admission on certain days. So there you have it. Living in France may not be as expensive as you thought, but as with any place, careful planning and budgeting go a long way. The cost of living in France, like its culture, is varied and vibrant. It offers a plethora of options to cater to different lifestyles and budgets. Remember, it's not just about the cost, but the quality of life. And France, with its rich history, stunning landscapes, and exceptional cuisine, certainly has a lot to offer. So why not give it a go? After all, as they say in France, c'est la vie, that's life.